Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm getting rid of stuff. Again, I do this like 20 times a year and I still keep doing it. I don't know. It makes me happy. What, you want to leave? Bye. But this time, my husband and I are actually both getting rid of things. So I have a little bit more help, maybe, because obviously there's my stuff and then there's his stuff. He's getting rid of a lot of stuff. I'm gonna get rid of some bigger things. I don't like to have a ton of things. I have a lot of stuffed animals that I'm going to be going through and getting rid of. I already went through a couple with my husband because some of them were gifts for him that neither of us really have an attachment to. Other ones were gifts for me from him that I don't have an emotional attachment to. So, you know, there are a couple that will be sad to let go of, but we could take pictures and whatever. We don't need to have a giant thing of grapes from our honeymoon for the rest of our lives, and that's okay. I've made a list of some of the things that I want to go through and get rid of already, but my other hope for today would be organizing our home in a way that makes sense. Everything has a place, but the places don't necessarily make sense right now. Like, we have a memory box from, you know, all the things that we've done as a couple, and that's in a drawer in the living room, and it doesn't make a ton of sense for me to have it in there. It doesn't bother me, but while I'm going through things, I want to keep in mind, you know, where is this going to stay? Where is this going to live? Stuff like that. My process, I'm going to go from room to room. I'm going to start in the bedroom. That's where I am now. I hope to get rid of a piece of furniture. That's going to be my dresser drawer thing. The cats have destroyed it, and it doesn't, I mean, it serves its purpose, but we also have another dresser that my mom gifted us, and I might be able to transfer my clothes from there to there. We'll see. Every time that I want to declutter or downsize, reorganize, whatever, I always have this image in my mind of, I can't remember where I heard it first, but it was somebody somewhere, maybe a movie, maybe a TV show, saying, you know, all of my belongings fit in a backpack. And I don't expect to be walking around with all my belongings in a backpack anytime soon, but I like to keep in mind that a lot of the stuff that we have, we don't need, and then from this point forward we need to be mindful of the stuff that we take in. You know, I don't just want stuff, because when we have stuff, this happens. I do this all the time because we just have stuff that I, you know, detach from stuffed animals that I want. I put them on a Christmas list at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year I take them all off. Like, they're things. I do have stuffed animals that I like, and I did buy another stuffed animal this year, but like, it's small and I'm gonna keep it because I like it for the next 10 years or so, which is a lot better than having something for a year or less, which is that thing of grapes from our honeymoon. It's only been a couple months. It's not quite a year, but it's almost a year. It's been 8 months since our honeymoon, so, and that thing's been sitting in the closet. So anyway, and I'm gonna get started before my phone runs out of storage. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is opening and emptying this closet completely. My husband's clothes are in there, my clothes are in there. It's going to be a lot. So, bed is made. You can't see it, but it is. Voila. I hate it. I absolutely hate it because it goes, like, this is as far as you can see, but it goes all the way down. So, you know, it's, you can only reach so far. Yeah, I'm gonna empty it now. All right, closet is completely empty. Nothing in there. right? Okay, so here's what we got. Let me zoom this out for you. All of this, oh, hello. All of this was in the closet, okay? These two bins, that's my clothes, that's my husband's clothes. These are shoes that belong to my husband. All my husband's clothes right here. Blankets, my shoes that are in like a container here. And then my t-shirts for work and sweatshirt. These two bags are gonna be donated, so I already have that. And then I have a blanket that I didn't even remember that we had, and our old comforter, which I'm not sure why we didn't get rid of. That doesn't need to be in the closet, you know? So we're gonna work that out. We're gonna fix it. My husband said he's gonna go through his clothes, so I'll leave these out for him. But, I mean, I guess I'll sort them by, like, sweatshirts versus t-shirts and stuff for him. But there's my bag. I'm gonna keep that. But you know what I mean? Like, all of this in this one little space right here. And this is, like, I know that all of this is in there even though the door is closed. And that's what bothers me. That's why I need to go through this all the time, because it drives me nuts even though it's behind a door. I'm like painfully aware of its existence all the time. Yeah, I'll see you in a second. I'm gonna figure stuff out here. Isn't this better? Isn't this so much better? I'm just kidding. I just got all the stuff off the floor, emptied out the bins, sort of. This is kind of my side. This is his side. I'm gonna work through this first and see where that takes me. Okay, so I sorted my husband's stuff just a little bit for now because I'm working on mine. But I'm gonna put, because it's summer, I'm gonna put all my sweatshirts in here. I'll bring out my swimsuits. I've got some fabrics that I want to use for sewing projects right there. I've got clothes that I'm keeping right there, and blankets that I want to go through. These are sheets to the bed, so I'm not gonna get rid of those. I have gotten rid of some things so far. That bag was already full, this one was not. And I'm stacking stuff on top of it, so we're making progress. Here is what I've narrowed it down to. I've got 2 shirts for work. I've got 2 sweatshirts just in case I'm cold. It's summer now, so whatever. And then I have a light sweatshirt and a zip up right there. I have put the bed sheets up there. I've kept 3 blankets. One of them is a quilt that was made for me. This one will keep me warm if I'm cold, like on the couch or throughout the house. And this one we'll take to the beach, or like we'll put it on the ground if we go out and do like a campfire or something. I know that this is open. It wasn't before. I struggled to put it up here, but nevertheless, there's hoodies in there. There's also some like dress up clothes in there as well. Like, I mean, dress up. It's nice pants and whatever. And then I have my winter coat in there as well, which is why it's bursting at the top right there. But that's what I have. I'm kind of at the point right now where I don't want to do this anymore, but I've got the 2 cats on my husband's clothes, which he will go through. I've sorted it sort of by category. I've got nice t-shirts, sweatshirts, stuff like that. So he can go through that when he gets home. I mean, he still has clothes in here, on here, in here, and in here. So I think I'm doing pretty good. Obviously I have clothes in here, and these are my husband's shoes. That's where I am as far as this room goes. I'm getting hungry, so I might cook food before I move on. All right, I know I only did one room, but we're moving on to the pantry now. This is everything, besides what's in those drawers right there. But there are a couple things I could get rid of for sure. Got party supplies in here. I have stuff in here that is definitely, you know, not organized very well. And then baking needs and stuff. So I don't love the way it looks. I don't think I ever have. I do like the open concept of it, but I don't know. It needs work, and that's what I'm here to do. thinking, this already looks 10 times better. My goal right now is to figure out what I want to stay in here. Like organizers, I'm not using all of them clearly. Basically anything that I haven't touched and have just been moving from house to house, I want to say goodbye to and let go of and finally be done with, because I keep looking at it and I keep thinking, oh, I have these cereal things and maybe one day I'll eat cereal. And sometimes cereal does live in here, but like these stay up there. I don't need all the organizers to be empty. I'll make a few exceptions, like this calzone thing right here. I have not once made a calzone, but if I ever did, I would have this. I don't know, I'm overwhelmed. I think I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I only have like 4.5 hours to get through this, and you know, that's a lot of time for some people. But I have to go through, I mean, this is room number 2 and it's a pantry. So if I spent 1 hour per space, there's not enough time. So I kind of have to speed this up. I'm gonna do that. My dad called me when I was like a quarter of the way through, but this is what it looks like now. So I have a cookbook back there that I haven't really touched in a couple of years. I just don't want to get rid of it because it has been a good source of inspiration. I know Pinterest exists, but whatever. We have our cups, we have powders and various things in there. I've got tea, and you can't see, but I've got tea and water flavoring pouches in here, weight gainer, iced tea, whatever, our magic bullet, and then I have my seasonings here and other baking things. I actually I didn't mean to make them go by size, but now they really go by size. Woo! Miscellaneous stuff up there for my husband, and then his fruit snacks, and then some baking stuff. I also use this cocoa powder for my protein shakes, but it belongs in there, you know? I've got the toaster oven, and then, oh my gosh, so I have the vases, I have another cereal container, and then I finally got myself to downsize on the Tupperware. So now I have one of each size and of each shape. So I used to have like 2 of these, you know, sets, and then 2 of these sets, and it was just overflowing. It was everywhere. And then I had 2 of these as well. I have more in the fridge because I use the bigger sizes, but now I have this and they all fit in here, and there's no excuse that they will be overflowing elsewhere. And then the drawers, I put baking stuff in here. And then I did put my toaster oven and my steamer in there. Don't get mad at me, but there's that. And then my party drawer, I did not get rid of anything in here. I just put my lunchbox in there. And this right here is paper towels and a step stool. So I found some stuff that was expired, stuff that isn't really good for donation, put it in that trash bag. And then we have, you know, the Tupperwares and other stuff. I'm gonna be keeping these things over here. I just wanted to get them out of my way. But, oh my goodness, it's not in here anymore. Okay, you can see my reflection, and that's fine. We have officially moved on to the living room. Right now, I'm going to work on that cabinet. Do not be mad at me. Last night, I got rid of some stuffed animals. I promise it's not that many. There's just 2 in here that are ginormous. The grapes from our honeymoon that I mentioned earlier. And then there's also this corn dog from our first date. He has not had a place to live since my apartment 3 years ago. So he's kind of just been like pushed to the side over and over. And you know, his name is Colin and he deserves a better life. Maybe he won't get there, you know, but he doesn't need to stay here and make me feel guilty every single time I look at him. I have taken pictures of the grapes. I already have pictures of Colin from the first date. Another thing I'm getting rid of is one of these rose bears that my husband got me when we were dating. The cats have ripped out flower petals and stuff, and I do have a repair kit, but I don't have any emotional attachment to these, or this in general. I see them everywhere. They're not really unique enough or irreplaceable enough. I've moved this a couple times and have wanted to get rid of it every single time. I don't want that to sound horrible. I know it is, but I have my husband. I don't need this. When my husband passes away, if he passes away first, I'll have other things and I will not regret getting rid of this bear. I just want to put that out there. He was a little upset that I wanted to get rid of it, but I took a picture of it and, it's gonna live with us forever in our hearts. It just doesn't need to be in our space. But it's a good bear, it's cute. So most of the stuffed animals in there will be staying with us, as, painful as that is to say. Painful because I wish I wanted to get rid of more, but I love them too much to do that. I have some pop figures in there, and then there's electronics and wires and stuff. I go through those all the time, every time. I'll just see what I can do about getting rid of more. So I know that this is very unorganized right now. I mean, it's kind of organized chaos. There's stuffed animals, and then like figures and stuff on this side. I do want these things displayed. That's why they're in a cabinet. Otherwise the cats would knock them over. There's just a lot. And over time, when I get older and more mature and whatever, I can let these things go. It's just right now I don't want to. So it's not like I'm doing this out of necessity, but at the same time, like at one point or another, I'm gonna need to say goodbye. It's just, right now I don't want to, and it's not hurting anybody, so it's fine. That's that for the cabinets. There are some drawers on the bottom here that have some stuff I want to get rid of, so let's go. These top two drawers are dedicated to video games and some movies, more movies over here. For the video games, Just Dance, Guitar Hero, Mario Kart. I can get rid of that. I like this one. I don't like this one, but my husband wants to keep it, so we could do that. And then, yeah, so one game, but that also includes this thing right here. It is a very calming game, but I do see a lot of people getting rid of it, and I do understand why. It's a little boring after a while. Let's see. I mean, I'm keeping Alvin and the Chipmunks, 101 Dalmatians, Fox and the Hound. I only have the second one? That's weird. Oh, no, the first one's right there. Oh my gosh, okay. And then we have Christmas movies here, and if you're thinking, like, why do I have DVDs? I have a DVD player. It's in one of the boxes that I took out of the cabinet. If the internet dies one day, I'll still be able to watch movies. So, inkless ink pads that I've been meaning to give to my coworker, so I'll do that. Then I have these here. They plug in and, you know, release the scents into the wild of my house. But I threw out the thing that they plug into. So I'm gonna put them somewhere else for now, and then when I go to drop off all the stuff, I'll put them in like a bag or something. I just don't want them to break and get all over everything. But those are some really good scents though. I'm kind of sad. I'm getting rid of them. Oh, can't even open this. What's this? Oh, we've got more wires. Pluggy in thingy, pluggy in thingy, cable, pluggy in thingy, USB drive thingy, and a spare Fitbit band. So because that's all electronics, I'm gonna take this out of here, and now we have space again. Okay, so it seems like all of these movies, not these, but all of these 3 cases right here are like all movie series that my dad and, you know, that side of my family had. So it's like all the Star Wars, all the Lord of the Rings, there's Fast and Furious, like all of those are in here. And then there's also videos of my stepbrother, like DVDs with videos of my stepbrother on there. So I'm gonna have to give those to their rightful owner sooner rather than later. But at least I know I have them, and I'm gonna put them front and center right here. But now I have all this space for miscellaneous. I don't think the DVD player will fit in there. Oh well, there's the DVD player, so that's good. The next drawer has my tattoo stuff in here. No, I don't want to do this anymore, but my husband needs his tattoo finished, and I'm the only one that's gonna do it. So I've got my gloves, I gotta keep the gloves, I got my needles, my printer, which I really don't need anymore because this is gonna be the last one. I don't want to go through this right now. I really don't, but there's just all, you know, all of this paper and stuff I'm not gonna need because I'm not gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna throw this out. That's fake skin. Transfer paper. Transfer paper. Transfer paper. I don't need all of this. More transfer paper. Yeah. This is a whole bunch of pencils. Pencils, crayons, stapler, paint markers, thumbtacks. Like, I just went through all of this pretty recently. I've got paint here, but I just got new paint. Well, my mom got me new paint, but I have new paint and it's better. So to make room for that paint, I will get rid of this paint. And don't come after me because it was $2.50 and that was forever ago. I got a bunch of white right here. Again with the paint pens, paint brushes. I just got a bunch of new ones. Colored pencils we're gonna keep simply because these are the only ones we have, and we do have coloring books that we don't use, obviously. You know, in the event that we needed coloring pencils for a coloring book, I don't know. I'm not, a professional artist. I've said this before. I'm a scratcher. I only work on myself and my husband at this time. I do not intend to take this much further. I just want to get my husband's tattoo over with and move on. I don't need all of these needles, obviously, if I'm gonna finish my husband's tattoo and then call it quits. But for right now, I'll hold on to all of them. I also have all of these bins for organizational purposes. I'm gonna keep 2 of each. But there we go, already downsized to that. I was going to use this more seriously. Yeah, no, this can go. We've got the remote for our AC, hand warmer. See what I mean? Like these, I know where these things are, but they don't need to be in here. They don't. A book that I want to read eventually. I know I just got married, but I've had this book since before I even met my husband because I wanted to, I guess I should have read it before I got married, but. And then this was from our wedding shower. I was just keeping these for this album right here, which is all pictures of us while we were dating and stuff. This is a cat laser. Ooh. So take the memory box out. And this was the memory box I was talking about. Take the album out. Oh, we've got 2 more containers. And Pokemon cards that I believe we are holding on to. I'm taking them out of here. We've got rope, don't ask what it's for. And then I have this giant candle that I have not lit once. We are not allowed to light candles in this apartment, so it's kind of just staying here. And then spare pepper spray, anybody? Another candle that I will never be lighting because it is the chocolate layer cake by Yankee Candle. I just smell it sometimes. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Okay. And then all of these Legos we're getting rid of. Say goodbye. I know the doors are closed, but this is what it's looking like right now. This is not done or organized or set up nice or anything. I just put the things in there. All these drawers are looking okay. I went through the drawers in here and moved anything if it was necessary, threw out some stuff. I've got donate over here, and then I have relocate over here. These will go in the basement, storage, cards and stuff. So I have that. The next place we are going to go is going to be this closet. I'm getting rid of these chairs. I'm only keeping 2 of the chairs. I originally got 5 because we were having like game nights and stuff, but people stopped showing up, so we don't need them anymore, and we're only 2 people. So I'm in the 2nd bedroom right now, and in that closet are our suitcases and stuff, holiday decorations. There's you know what, I'll show you. I didn't even want to look at it, but so there's a whole thing of holiday stuffed animals in there, and I really didn't want to touch it. And then we have this, which I can get rid of. It's for the windows. Okay, I took the chairs out of the coat closet or whatever, and then I sat down and I took another break. This usually is not this exhausting for me. I'm not sure what the difference is for this. I feel very overwhelmed, but it is 4:05 right now. I have to be somewhere at 5:30. I'm going to go into the basement, see what I can declutter from there, and then I'm gonna pack up my car, throw out the necessary trash. Hopefully that'll be it for at least today. This isn't like a multiple day project. This was just supposed to be today, but it took a little longer than expected because I'm taking longer breaks and am not loving this, but it's okay. Welcome to my side of the basement. I brought some of the upstairs stuff down here. This actually belongs to my husband, and all of this. So this is going to be up to him. Actually, a lot of the stuff belongs to him. Okay, well, I'm going to collect my hockey stuff. I'm going to say goodbye. I tried selling it. It just, nobody wanted it. I've got stuffed animals over here and miscellaneous. So I'll be seeing what I can get rid of from that. struggling a little bit, I guess emotionally. Um, like, I know they're just stuffed animals, and I'm not going to donate a stuffed animal that's been critically loved by me. I know that's not right. Children are not in my plans for the future, so it's not like I'm trying to save these stuffed animals for my future children. So there's really no reason for me to hang on to these, especially if they've been sitting in the basement since we moved here. They're not. So the ones that have been critically loved by me since I was 6 years old, some of them I kept, other ones I'm going to throw away, and then there are some others who have not been as critically loved, but they have been taken care of. Like, I went through a Beanie Baby phase, or Beanie Boo phase, and they're in good shape, still have the tags on them and everything. Those I'm going to donate because they're pretty much brand new, and they don't really have a home here. But I feel bad for throwing out the ones that I used to love so dearly. All right, this is how the space looks now. We're now behind the yellow tape. It's not that big of a deal if we're past it, but this isn't ours. This is mostly empty. This just has stuff in it. This is mostly empty. I'm actually gonna get rid of this too. Making a huge mess, but I'm also getting rid of this. So this is everything minus the stuff downstairs that I will be getting rid of today. It's also not including trash, which I have right here. Like, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's definitely not the biggest donation pile, you know, anyone's ever seen, but yeah, it's actually not that much. But it'll feel good to be rid of it, I think. I'm gonna be dropping all this off in a second. I just wanted to record just a little bit of what we got going back here. I'm not sure how much of that you saw, but yeah, my back seat is full, and the trunk has the 3 chairs in it, and I will feel better once this is empty. I will also feel better once I'm back at home and won't have to deal with the people who drive around here, because I passed an accident on the way here, and I was being followed by somebody who really wanted to get into an accident on the way here. So, yeah. And for those of you that don't know, and none of you really should, I volunteer to take care of cats. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then after that, I'll be home. I'm home now. My husband went through his clothes. He's not done yet, but he made it so that we can sleep on the bed tonight, which is nice. He is getting rid of quite a lot so far, which is good. The kitchen is a little bit of a mess right now, so I'm gonna clean that, do the dishes, and then I'm gonna take a shower, much needed shower, and then that'll be my day. So thank you very much for watching, and don't let your stuff drive you crazy. All right? Goodbye.